Well, here we go. Myself, Mads, Chenny, PK, all here to bring you the midday service point. This is the first time that we've had a midday service since this rally started.
Yeah, it's a Hello, Chenny. Chenny is coming as well.
Yeah.
Finally, when we have a full service, you show up.
Hello.
Better late than never.
Sorry,
Yeah.
sorry. I'm terribly sorry.
Terribly sorry.
It's quite a long walk from the commentary box, but carry on as you were.
That was a long trip for you, Michael.
Thank you very much, Mads.
Yeah.
Is it Breistein? Breistein?
Breistein.
Breistein,
Yes.
Osberg. There you go.
Is that your middle name?
Yes.
Oh, okay. All right, well, Chenny is here as well. PK's over there somewhere, so we'll be hearing those interviews. What's it like to see daylight for the first time today?
Nice. It's nice. Yeah, it's good. It's quite dark in the commentary box. That's why I think it explains Bex Williams' pale skin. She's never out. She's never out in the sunshine. But no, it's nice to be out, and what a morning it's been.
Okay, well, we'll give you some idea of what's going to be going on. PK's going to be getting those interviews in. We'll be throwing to those. Chenny's going to go off and have a look around the service, and myself and Mads will also go and have a look around and see what's going on. I think Thierry's service might be a good one to look at. So we'll go there, and where do you reckon you'll go?
I don't know. I mean, we'll follow some stories. We'll see what's going on. The good thing about the morning was that there's not a lot of. I mean, for the cars that are making it back, there's not a lot of kind of big repairs to be done. It's nice that the cars are coming back straight. It's just a shame that Cai Roden is not part of it.
Yeah, indeed.
Yeah, I mean, they left all the broken cars on the forest, so
yeah, exactly.
There was no point even bringing them back. But okay, there might be some repairs to Thierry's car.
Yeah, they've got to stick a new front end on that, haven't they? And
yeah.
and again, like it was interesting. You really see the difference between losing that front splitter. He just couldn't get the car to rotate. You would know about that, particularly when you're out on the stage. When you lose the front splitter, it does make a big difference.
Yes.
He's not saying you crash a lot.
No.
No. All right, let's hand over to PK now. He's got Gregoire Munster.
Gregoire. Oh. Happy? Gregoire, great to see you still here. A few technical problems out there this morning. Talk us through what was going on.
Yeah, it's a bit difficult to say because we don't know exactly. Loss of power in stage Amarante. I thought it was something related with the alternator as we were losing more and more power. But the alternator belt was still looking fine, so I don't know. We restarted the car, still the problem, and after the stage on the road section seems to be okay again till the last meters of the last stage, so it might be something related with heat and when you get to a certain amount of kilometer, I don't know.
That aside, how have you found things out there this morning? Some tricky stages, very quick, but also very narrow. We've seen a lot of incidents out there today.
Yeah, exactly. I think it's also because it's the only stage that wasn't on the program previous year, and when you see at the pace they're going, one new stage or less new stage, then they get into trouble. But yeah, for us it was just about getting through and learning with a great amount of cleaning.
Well done. Best of luck for the afternoon.
Thank you.
There you go. Well, it is obviously, as always, absolutely boiling here in Portugal. So the cool vests on. Boys, what have we made of Gregoire Munster's morning? He's had a few problems out there.
You go.
Yeah, well, I think his day yesterday was developing really nicely. He improved stage by stage. I think today he hasn't really been able to show what he's good for, and of course he has finished all the stages. That's his target. So even though he has to stop in the stage and do repairs, it almost feels like he's out of the rally, but
yeah.
He's not. He's there to compete and to do all the stages, and I don't know exactly the problem with the car. I think they have to find out here, but...
You were talking about that in commentary when this is about experience now.
Yeah, Mads is right. You know, he wasn't in the fight for the win. You know, he wasn't out there. You know, he didn't really have anything to lose at this stage. So the key thing was just making sure that he kept all the wheels turning on the car, and that's what he did. He obviously has picked up a slight intermittent issue with something, and I think more than anything else, he was just playing it safe to make sure that everything was okay. As I said, he wasn't in a position to lose anything really by pulling over. So. The good thing is that he is able to get back out this afternoon. I'm sure the boys and girls at M Sport will sort that car out, and he'll be going again and gaining experience.
Yeah, he was actually saying here on the pictures he was stopping for the first time. He was actually checking if the alternator belt was still there, because he expected to be an issue there, but obviously it was there, so he could just close the bonnet and continue.
Yep.
Mads, what's it like when you're in that position where, you know, we're the first of 7 consecutive gravel rallies? You really do know at that point that you've got to get your learning in. What is it like when you're in that position? Because you're just also terrified to make a mistake and not be able to get that experience for the next rallies.
Yeah, well, I think first of all, it's good for him to know that he has so many rallies coming up, so he can sort of go slower on the first rallies to build up his speed, and then for the next 2, 3, maybe 4 rallies, he can step by step increase his speed, his risk, trying to build up to the level.
And Jenny, what kind of driver is Gregoire Munster in terms of this learning curve? He's absorbing it all in.
Mature is the word I would use, because he knows he could drive that car quicker right now if he wanted to, but when you do that, you run the risk of dropping it on its roof, of sticking it in a ditch, and when you do that, you're not getting valuable seat time, and that's what he's here to do. Malcolm Wilson's told him that, Rich Milner's told him that, and that's the attitude he's come in with as well, is get seat time. So I think for Gregoire, he's taken a very mature approach to this year, and the speed will come. It's about, as Mad said, just building it.
Okay, well, we'll talk about Elfyn Evans after this. This is PK talking to him in the media zone.
Elfyn, it's been an eventful morning out there. He got back into the top 6 with all the dramas going on. Talking about still not quite finding the feeling, though, out there at times.
Yeah, it's not been perfect. We've been playing with a few things this morning, trying to find a better way. Didn't go so well, let's say, in Amarante. A few better changes now, maybe for that last one. So hopefully we'll find some answers this afternoon ahead of tomorrow. Yeah,
I know we're used to seeing a really dramatic day down there in the south. I know you had some issues yesterday, but are you surprised to see so much going on out there this morning up here?
It's just the nature of how this game goes sometimes, I think the stages are quite tricky. That goes without saying then that things can happen.
You've still got a few more stages then to really dial that car in, obviously, now, because it's playing catch-up and damage limitation, isn't it, ahead of, a very important day for you tomorrow in terms of what you can get out of the points system.
Yeah, sure. I mean, tomorrow's an important day. Maybe it looks like the road position won't be quite as bad now as what we first thought. So at least that's something in our favour, and we have to try and make the most of that.
Best of luck for the afternoon. Thank you.
Cheers. Thank you.
Well, there we go, Elfyn Evans with PK talking about the point system. Now, it is a different point system that we've got this season. We're well in the thick of it at the moment, Mads. So Saturday, you can bag those points. But Sunday, then, for Elfyn Evans is where he can make a difference to his championship standing. We haven't lost Chenny. We just didn't give him any room. Actually, you know what? We'll go through here so Chenny can join us. And it's open this time, Chenny. We remember a few years. You were locked out a year or so back. Right, so to talk about this point system, because this is where something like this can come into play for Elfyn Evans. Tomorrow is where Sunday can really make a difference to his championship standings.
Yeah, look, he gets another opportunity tomorrow, doesn't he, really, to go out and score some more points. But I think the key thing, Kiri, is road position going into tomorrow. If he doesn't have a good day today, then he's on the back foot again tomorrow. So there's no question this has just been a bit of a bogey round, I think, for Elfyn. It hasn't gone his way. There's definitely some pace to find this afternoon. And one of the things that he was saying as well was he was just trying to find the sweet spot with the car so that he at least gives himself a chance to score some points tomorrow, either be it through the Super Sunday points or the power stage. But that's the beauty of the new point system.
Mads, what do you make of the new point system? It's all pressure on again on Sundays.
Yeah, well, I think in these scenarios it's very good. We have seen, though, a couple of times that, drivers you were not even watching to win the rally and they are taking the most points. So there is ups and downs, but for sure, like for Elfyn now, he's taking his time to tune in the car and to work on that setting for tomorrow. And I think that seems to be working hopefully well for him. He can get a better start position and then fight for those points tomorrow.
Yeah, it's going to be an all-out battle for those points tomorrow. OK, well, as Adrien Fourmaux just pulled in behind us, we'll watch the services going on at the M Sport bays, and we'll hear from Adrien Fourmaux as well.
Well, Adrien, suddenly find yourself fighting for a top 5 position. Don't entirely seem happy with the sort of handling of the car this morning, not quite finding that rhythm at times. Is that fair to say?
Well, I've been searching a little bit the setup of the car, but the 2 stages are really different, and then Amarante, and then the last one is also different. So it's a bit. I think it's part of experience with the Rally 1 cars that we are missing sometime. But no, it's been. I think it's been a quite okay morning, considering our road position and the guys behind are fighting for the win. So no, it's been positive.
There's been a lot of incident out there. People often talk about it being a rally of 2 days, very different. Just describe how different this stage is, why they're so different compared to yesterday.
Well, the first 2 stages this morning is like really sandy stage, quite slow in the sun, but then it gets rotted. Yesterday it was more like really hard base. You had a lot of bedrocks with a lot of dust and stones on the top. But then you clean it and you are on the hard base. Here you don't clean, you just get rots and deeper and deeper. It's different. And in Amarante, it's quite wide, a lot of gravel, a bit more like yesterday. And then the last one, it's yeah, I think nothing to compare. It's like the shakedown, but a bit different.
You've made a very good job this year of being a very clever driver, driving your own rally, but you've got Dani Sordo maybe tantalisingly within reach. Is that tempting to have a go for?
Well, we were trying this morning to catch a little bit of time on Dani, but yeah, we lose too much time on Amarante. We need to find out how to improve that for the second pass. But we are still there. We never know. He can make a mistake or whatever. We can be faster, so we're going to try.
All right, there we go. Adrien Fourmaux chatting to PK. Mads, Chenny, what have you made of Adrien Fourmaux in this weekend so far, and what can he do from this point in?
Well, I think he's done a very good rally. We talked about it a lot yesterday as well. He was always there in the fight at the front. He was, let's say, a little bit on the wrong side, just those few tenths here and there, taking him back and sort of made it a little bit more difficult for him with the start position. But again, today is showing that his pace is there, and he's constant. He's constantly on the top, fighting for the best stages all the time.
Yeah, absolutely. It's not a fluke. And Rich Milner was saying he was asking Adrien to just turn up the wick a little bit coming into this event, because on gravel we know the levels of competition, how fine the margins are, and the concern was that the guys at the front were going to run away with it, and they absolutely have not done that, and as Mads says, consistency is the key, and he has been consistently there or thereabouts. This time last year, Kiri, Adrien Fourmaux would have been a minute and a half down, a couple of minutes down. He's absolutely not now. He's arrived. And the pace is genuine. That's the most important thing.
We talked about that yesterday. Something's clicked, isn't it? And he's very relevant this season now.
Yeah, absolutely. I think, as you said, he's consistently running where he needs to be. He's building the speed, and most importantly, confidence. Rallying is a confident sport. If you've got confidence, and you're enjoying your rallying, if you get in the car and you want to be there, you're enjoying it, then the times come. And I think that's what we're seeing with Adrien.
All right, well, these interviews are going to be coming in thick and fast from PK. We've got cameras in every garage throughout our service park here, so bird's eye view on M-Spot, where we will be covering Hyundai and Toyota as well. But while we are talking about Hyundai, let's listen into how Thierry found those stages out there.
Well, Thierry, back into podium position, but it's been a crazy old morning out there, hasn't it, on Saturday? Just talk us through how things have been developing as the day's gone on.
Yeah, I mean, for us it developed in the right direction at least, even if it wasn't a trouble-free morning for us. Made two little mistakes, which cost us a bit of time. But yeah, at the end we are here, we're in third position, there's a fight going on in the front. And yeah, that's the battle we're going to watch this afternoon and try to have a clean run through and find a good rhythm between pushing and not overdriving.
A fair amount of front-end damage on the bottom of the car there after that second impact. What does that make the car feel like for those second stages?
It wasn't so great, but I mean, at the end we got it here, and the guy's going to fix it for this afternoon.
And what do we think about those afternoon stages, and what are they like normally how they develop for the second loop here?
It's hard to say because the surface is quite different from previous years, so we don't know really what to expect. Yeah, I mean, the rally isn't over, and a lot of things can still happen this afternoon.
Well, good luck. Hope you get through.
Thank you
very much. Thanks,
Thank you.
Now, I definitely want to do the maths on how many lead changes we've had, but one of those lead changes was from Thierry.
Yeah, I mean, I think fairly. The key thing is he said we got the car back, and that was the most important thing. But I think, yeah, he's had a fairly turbulent morning, hasn't he? But he's kept himself there or thereabouts, and the one person he'll be looking at is Elfyn Evans in the fight for the championship.
Yeah.
And because Elfyn's struggling a little bit, that kind of plays into Thierry's hands.
What do you reckon, Mads?
Well, I could say exactly the same as him, but I would say I support you, Chenny.
Morally, life.
Actually, you did that well.
Financially?
Yeah, no.
Wait, where's my support?
But...
Okay, well, we will continue to get these interviews in. We will get into the service as well. I think Thierry is in there, so we will get ourselves in there. Let's just have a look at Thierry's moment as well, just to remind ourselves of what happened out there, because there was so much that happened, we might have forgotten a few.
Yeah, I mean, on this second stage this morning, there was so much happening. This is in...
The first one.
It's in the first one, okay. Yeah, so anyway, he's obviously...
It's his first moment.
Yeah. It's his first one. So damaging the front bumper obviously there. And I mean, this stage, I think, first of all, we have to mention, we have done this stage so many times. All the drivers know this stage very well. and still so much drama is happening in one of these stages. It's quite incredible, but obviously that was making some damage to his car, which made the car even more difficult to drive. So we did see a lot of small mistakes after that for him, just getting his head around everything, trying to make the car work. We also saw his second spin there, which so there was a lot of things happening and going on.
Jenny, it sort of unravelled a little bit, doesn't it? It happens like that. We saw it with Elfyn yesterday. When one thing comes, the next thing comes.
Yeah, and I think when you make a mistake in a stage, it's your whole rhythm is interrupted. So you try to get into a flow, you try to get comfortable in the car. When you make a mistake and it all changes, then you lose that flow, you lose that rhythm, and then that's when another mistake can happen as well. And I think that's potentially what happened. The other thing as well, though, Kiri, was there was an enormous amount of road cleaning going on, and we didn't really see, to be honest with you, any sort of consistent grip levels appearing, did we? So it was a difficult morning for everybody, certainly grip-wise, and I actually expected it to clean more than it did do, but there you go.
Well, there you go, indeed, Jenny. As we do our marathon journey, you are watching the garage cams now of Hyundai, but we've marched our way around here and we're going to have a look at the service, and this is why you guys are here, because I have no idea what's going on in here. So can you tell us a little bit about the service that we're having a watch on?
Yeah, well, I think we're watching obviously the repairs going on Thierry's car. No, this is actually Tanak's car we are watching here. So no rear windows on that car, so we can't really tell, but I can see. Which car is this, Jenny? You have to help me now.
That'll
this
be Dani,
is Thierry. This is Thierry. Yeah. So they are doing the repairs to his car. Obviously, also checking all the suspension arms, maybe doing some corrections and changes there. Some of his impacts on the second stage today were quite big, and we could possibly see some bent arms. So obviously they are measuring the tracks and all the wheels down to the millimeter just to make sure they're pointing in the right direction, and of course also putting a new front to the car, checking all the cooling systems and making sure that the car is up for a fight this afternoon.
Now, the fans in full force. We've seen it on the stages. The fans are absolutely in full force in every element of this rally, from the stages to here in the service park, which is why you'll hear the big cheers as Ott Tanak pulls in. Let's listen into Dani Sordo's interview just now with Piquet.
Dani, we saw tremendous pace yesterday, a few stage wins. How have things been out there for you on Saturday? Very different stages today, of course.
Yeah, really slippery. The two first stages, they were really slippery, narrow, and difficult. And the long one, he was also at one point he was damp, a little bit humid some places. So, but it was good in this stage. Tanak, he was making an amazing time, and in the last one, I just didn't have a lot of grip. The car was spinning a lot, the wheels, and it was difficult to manage the power there.
You've been here many times before. Are you surprised to see so many incidents today? Because it really was quite remarkable through some of those stages this morning.
Yeah, first stage was difficult, but it's like we say, it's very slippery, and with the sizes, like if you go a little bit far, you hit the wall. I was surprised, like nothing happened yesterday because we were pushing really hard, everybody. But today it looks like everybody are making the same mistakes in the first stage. So it's sad for the competitor and for the spectators, no? But it's like it is.
Best of luck for the afternoon.
All right, so there we go. Well, that Dani Sordo speaking to us, but we've also got Cai Roden who was speaking to Piquet. So it's going to be very interesting listening. So let's go for it.
Cai, it was such a shock for us all to see your car on the side. Just talk us through that incident there this morning.
Yeah, it was a big shame. The morning started well, and then we went out on a fairly simple place. I just missed my braking on a straight line, so a bit shame. There was a bit of confusion on the previous corner combination, Jonne reading one note wrongly. It didn't affect the crash because it was later, but maybe on the straight I was just thinking about it for a short moment, and on these speeds you cannot think about anything else. So maybe it affected my braking, and it was my mistake at the end to go out.
It was an incredible fight, which still is an incredible fight, even without you up there. But the road surface seems to have been surprising people a little bit this year. Just explain why it's a bit different to previous years.
Yeah, the morning was high grip on the first stage, and on this one was definitely lower grip. Yeah, I don't know after that how it has been, but for sure until that point the grip change was there, and there was a bit of tricky places.
There's still some points up for grabs. I know you're not doing the full championship this year, but I assume we're going to see you back out there tomorrow. How bad is the car damaged?
I think the car looked really good, so if there is nothing special to be found, I'm sure it's fine tomorrow. And yeah, it's not going to be easy with that starting place if we are cleaning the road, but of course we are here to help the team, so we need to try to bring all the points we can.
I put on a bit of show for the fans. Just talk us through as well. The Portuguese fans out here are something incredible, aren't they?
Yeah, it's really nice to see so many fans, and they're always supporting a lot. So yeah, the feeling on the stage is great.
Good luck for tomorrow. Thank you very much.
That interview in. All right, a bit of a relocation. We are making sure we cover every inch of this service park just for fun. And Terenzio Testoni joining me now from Pirelli. Terenzio, what a busy morning it's been out there.
More than busy, let me say. It was quite interesting because some driver made some mistake, and that is not good. But the rally still looks quite interesting now. We will see in the afternoon. The condition of the rally, we are quite happy because, okay, with the new tire for the Rally 1, it looks quite strong. We don't have any complaining from the team, but already when the team they tested, they was quite happy. Our target is to make a tire even more stronger. We know Portugal always you need to be to have a quite strong tire, and this is why we decided to start from Portugal to bring the new tire. So at the moment, there's nothing to say.
Okay, nothing much to say. This afternoon, we saw yesterday the switch from the soft to the hard tyres. Will we see that again this afternoon? And what are we looking at in terms of tyres to get us on the podium spots tomorrow? What tyre is the optimal choice?
But okay, for tomorrow, we know is that other rally, but also different rally, because first stage we know is a very sandy stage, and then always the soft tire is the best. So we need to understand now in the afternoon, for the long stage, how will be the limit of the soft and then jump to the hard. Okay.
Do you think there will be a mixed tire package this afternoon, considering the long stage, or they can manage still with the softer tires, you think?
They can manage, but we don't know exactly the strategy of the team how to do it, because there was actually a big fight between Seb and Ott, but now Ott got a punch, so now we need to understand how will be the tactic from them.
Exactly.
But for me, can be an option to have 2 hard tire in the boot for the long one.
Yeah, I would do the same actually for the long one.
Yeah, but if you look this morning, the first 10 cars, which is Rally 1, everybody was on soft.
Yeah.
Was loose, some damp. But if you look the car behind, the Rally 2, already they put some hard.
Yeah.
So the strategy looks someone they will put a hard tire in the boot.
And you think between the hard and the soft tire, even for such a long stage with the tarmac on the middle, will the feeling develop a lot through the stage, or it will stay quite a similar feeling if, let's say, you put the hard on the front and the soft on the rear?
But okay, on tarmac, on the tram section, the hard tire is better because you can keep the temperature of the tire quite good. With the soft, will be overheating straight away.
Yeah, yeah.
And the problem is not when you are in the tarmac is overheating. When you jump to the gravel, it doesn't work quickly because it's already overheating. So the driver need to be, let me say, back off a little bit and then go again.
Yeah.
All right, well, all the challenges are going to face drivers, co-drivers and tyres. Terenzio, thank you so much for joining us. We really do appreciate it. We'll be catching up with Terenzio again tomorrow as we head into the final 4 stages of the weekend. But plenty of action still to come today. Now it's Sebastien Ogier that we heard from with Piquet a matter of moments ago, so let's dip into that.
Well, Sebastien, what a morning that's been. Somehow back in the lead at the end of it all. But how pleased have you been with your own pace with all the craziness going on around you out there?
Well, at least it was a safer pace than for many others. So, yeah, it's been a good look for us. Of course, on the first stage, we thought that maybe we were not pushing enough. For sure, we could have been a little bit faster on this one. But the rest of the loop was pretty good and was not so much more I could do without taking too much risk. So, so far, yeah, I'm happy with all the things goes.
It's been many, many years since we've had split times inside the car. When you have a huge long stage like Amarante, you think you're right on the limit, and then you see the sort of time on the board of Voigt at the end of it. Is it sort of a surprise? I mean, how does that feel these days when you have that?
Well, 3 seconds was not so bad. 3.6 after 37 kilometers is still very, very little. I've seen afterwards that, yeah, I was a bit too cautious on the tarmac section, saving my tires, but it looks like it paid off toward the end of the loop, so it was maybe not that bad at the end.
Road surface seems to be surprising people this year, slightly different to what we've had in previous years. How would you expect this surface to develop this afternoon now?
Well, it's not that different, I would say. It was a bit better, even better prepared, I would say, than the previous year, and maybe less sand, less deep sand on the first pass. We're not so sure how it's going to evolve on the second pass. There is also still some risk of shower maybe in the afternoon when it's hot like this. So maybe all the surprises are you know, not came yet. So we still need to stay focused. Sorry, and we know it's still a long way to go.
Good luck for the afternoon. Thank you very much.
Yeah.
Yes.
Okay, well, like we were saying, it was a very strategic morning for him, but this is what we're looking at now. It is Oliver Solberg's car returning back. We've just heard from Cai Roden, who had the spin and the off 100 metres before Oliver. This is the damage that was done to Oliver's car.
Yeah, it was a big roll, wasn't it? And I think that the thing went over 5 or 6 times. Unfortunately, both Oliver and Elliot absolutely fine out of the car. So the question is now getting it off the back of the low loader and then giving it a good dose of looking, in particular checking the roll cage, making sure that all of the key structural points are all right, everything's safe, and then whether or not they can get that rebuilt and send it back out. But it's a big ask. There is quite a lot of damage to it, but you'd be surprised. We've seen some seriously broken rally cars in the past, and then they have been repaired and sent back out again the next day. So yeah, hopefully we'll see Oliver back out again. But it was a big off.
Yeah, well, I think I don't know why you looked at me like that.
I have no idea either.
But we have seen it in the past for sure. I've been, even to be honest,
you've never broken a rally car, have you?
I have actually a bit too much, and sometimes you have an accident and you're looking at the car and you're thinking, no way that car is going back.
Yeah.
And then comes to service, they pick it apart and they say, no problem, there is no real damage. And then other times, you don't see even the damage on the car. You just hit a tree stump or whatever, and you broke the roll cage at some point. I've had it in Rally Finland, landing on the jump, and I broke one of the bars in the roll cage in the front mount, and the rally was over. I had to retire, and I couldn't even see it on the car. So this car could might as well be out winning stages tomorrow, no problem.
Fingers crossed. It is funny because sometimes you do get that, you have an off, you don't see there's much damage at all, you think I'll be absolutely fine, and there's a tiny little superficial kink in the roll cage, and that's game over.
Okay, all right. Well, just quickly, we want to hear from Ott Tanak, find out how he's feeling ahead of the afternoon, but after that last stage.
Well, it's very much a morning of mixed fortunes. Incredible run for Amarante, but how frustrating was that puncture setback in the following stage?
Yeah, it was quite unfortunate. I don't know exactly from where, but I could see from the tire that there is a small cut on the sidewall. So yeah, basically in less than 1 kilometer the air was out, and yeah, then we had like, I don't know, 8.5 or 9 to go without the pressure. So yeah, basically I slowed down to keep the tire at least on the rim, you know, to not lose like too much. So yeah, I think in the end it played out actually quite well.
It was actually very clever of you the way you did that. We so often see that the tire completely delaminate. How difficult is that process of you managing it and trying to just keep enough air in without destroying the tire? It can't be easy.
Nothing in this life is easy.
And what then for the afternoon, Luke? Of course, it's still very close out there. We saw that incredible time. You must be so pleased with that Amarante run to give you confidence for the afternoon.
I don't know how pleased we need to be, but yeah, I would say I've been in all the stages more or less maximum, so nothing much to take from there. So let's see this afternoon. We keep going the same way, and I mean, yeah, it's this afternoon, and there is still tomorrow as well. So yeah, nothing is done yet.
We'll look forward to it. Good luck. Thank you.
At the maximum in the morning, I'm pretty sure it'll be maximum attack for the afternoon. Well, let's have a look at what's coming up the afternoon in terms of stages. There's 5. and they're coming thick and fast. That Amarante stage breaks up at the 4 that we saw in the morning, and then we've got Lusada at 7 o'clock. So the first of the stages at 2:35, 3:30, 4:40, 6:05, and like I said, the Lusada at 7 o'clock. Myself and Mads will be out and about. Chenny's going to hop back into the booth, and we'll be taking you through with Bex Williams all of those stages. So from us here in the service, it is goodbye for now, but the action, as I said, is coming thick and fast. And don't worry, these two will be here to entertain you all day long.